Larry Herod leads Adam Beeler into turn number 1. Chris Wilson from the 4th starting spot settles into 3rd. Chris Cantrell in the 4th spot. Battle side by side for 5th. Behind them, working down on the bottom of the Speedway, trying to move up into 5th. It's the 51 car, Mac McCarter. McCarter moves up into 5th. Caution flag coming out on the Speedway. Caution on the Speedway. Mark Vineyard slow down the back straightaway, brings out the caution flag. Turn 4 will go green. Green flag's out. Kerr takes the high side into turn number 1. Up high, Beeler hangs on to 2nd. Wilson trying to slide up in front of the hard-charging Mac McCarter. McCarter will go to the outside to challenge Wilson for the 3rd spot. Chris Cantrell back in 5th. On top 6th in the 40C. Ronnie Johnson battling with David Smith for the 7th spot. RJ brings the 10. RJ up to 7th and looking for more. Goes underneath top for 6th. And now by Cantrell. Your eye on the Chattanooga flag, Ronnie Johnson. Larry Herod out in front, Adam Beeler right on his back bumper. Chris Wilson, 4th. McCarter goes to the inside to challenge Wilson for the 3rd spot. Johnson up in the 10 RJ machine as he tries to catch the top 4 automobiles. Ron Cobb in the 40C. He's moved up into the 6th position. 7th is the 11, David Smith, as Chris Cantrell drops back to 8th. David Earl Gentry caught for 56, trying to move up through the field. He's up. Off the board. And Beeler moves around Herod to take the lead. Now Chris Wilson looking to the inside of Larry Herod as Adam Beeler beginning to pull away down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Wilson 3rd. Now Ronnie Johnson trying to get underneath Mac McCarter for the 4th spot. On top in 6th. David Smith 7th. Chris Cantrell 8th. David Earl Gentry 9th. Up into 9th. Now they close in on Adam Beeler with a half straight. 27 on Larry Herod. Now Beeler beginning to work the cars on the tail end of the lead lap. He'll go to the outside, trying to get around Chase Edge in the 40 car. Chase Edge and Johnny Stokes go a lap down to Adam Beeler in 66. Larry Herod now getting a challenge from Chris Wilson for the 2nd spot. In 4th, it's Mac McCarter. He's getting a challenge from Ronnie Johnson in the 10 RJ. Ray Martin to the 8th. Chris Cantrell in 9th. 10th is David Creek. McCarter once again getting a challenge from Ronnie Johnson. Johnson brings it off the low side of turn 4. Johnson has the spot at the start-finish line. Will slide up in front of McCarter off the 2, but gives him room on the outside. Wilson on the inside, Harrod on the outside. Lap car in front of them, the 121 of Michael Blunt. Ronnie Johnson moving right in now to make it a 3-car battle for second. Spot in the 10W machine. Ronnie Johnson gets by Larry Harris for the 3rd spot. Adam Beeler out in front. Working lap traffic. Chris Wilson trying to close in. Ronnie Johnson in 3rd. Larry Harris 4th. Carter back to the position. John Cobb 7. Greg Martin 8 was David Smith. Chris Cantrell and David Earl Gentry battling back and forth for the 9th spot. Leader off turn 2 down the back straightaway. 2 lap cars between Adam Beeler and the 2nd place machine of Chris Wilson as Ronnie Johnson closes in turn 4. Johnson now moving up the challenge. Chris Wilson for 2nd in heavy lap traffic. They're trying to chase down the leader, Adam Beeler. This time by, it'll be 30 laps in the books, and Beeler gets into a lap car in turn 4, and he goes around coming off of turn 4. Trouble on the front straightaway. The 2nd and 3rd place cars, 4th place cars involved. So Adam Beeler gets into a lap car coming off of turn number 4, and he's out of his car, so that means he's done for the event. NeSmith Chevrolet Dirt Late Model Series rules say if you get out of your car under caution, that means you're done for the night. Is 7th. Chris Cantrell in 8th. David Gentry 9th. Matthew Turner up to 10th. Green flag's out. Ronnie Johnson again goes to the bottom in turn number 1, trying to throw the slider on Will. He pulls alongside down the back straightaway. They go into turn 3. Johnson heads for the bottom. Can't find the grip he needs. Wilson will hold the lead down the front straightaway. Johnson again goes to the bottom in turn number 1. Can't make the move. He'll slide behind the leader down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Larry Harrod now climbing the banking. He's going to get up on the outside, try to find some traction on the high side. Back to Carter in 4th as Greg Martin goes by the 40C at John Cobb into the 5th spot. David Earl Gentry trying to make a move on Chris Cantrell as they battle for 8. Chris Wilson leads them down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Johnson running second, digging hard. They both want to win the J.T. Kerr Memorial 40. Larry Harrod up on the outside, trying to keep Mac McCarter behind him in the 51 car. Chris Wilson beginning to pull away from Ronnie Johnson. He's got about an 8-car length advantage down the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. This time by 5 laps to go. 5 to go for Chris Wilson in the 10W car. Ronnie Johnson now going to try the outside in his machine, the 10RJ. Larry Harrod in third. Harrod had been working up on that high side. Now Mac McCarter looking inside him as they battle for third in the closing laps of the J.T. Kerr Memorial 40. Just 4 laps to go as Chris Wilson heads into turn 3. He'll try to go around the outside to chase edge in car number 40 as they complete lap number 37. 3 laps to go. Chris Wilson out in front. He's now pulled out to an 8-car length advantage over Ronnie Johnson with 2 to go. Johnson back down on the bottom of the racetrack in the 10K. He's going to have to make up a lot of ground and not a lot of time to get there because the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Chris Wilson, car number 10W out of Crossville, Tennessee, in the Dale's Auto Sales GRT. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He's got lap traffic in front of him, but it's not going to come into play. Checkered flag out, and Chris Wilson wins the J.T. Kerr Memorial 40. Ronnie Johnson will finish second. Third goes to Larry Harrod.